نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Now I would like to call up Brother Rajid. He's going to do a short Quranic recitation for us.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما واخفض لهما جناح الذل من الرحمة وقل رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا ربكم أعلم بما في نفوسكم إن تكونوا صالحين فإنه كان للأوابين غفورا وآت ذا القربى حقه والمسكين وابن السبيل ولا تبذر تبذيرا إن المبذرين كانوا إخوان الشياطين وكان الشيطان لربه كفورا. صدق الله العظيم.
Alhamdulillah. Brother, I didn't want you to stop, brother. You should have kept on going. That was very heartwarming. Made me want to go get the Quran and start reading, brother. Alhamdulillah. Another thing that I should mention, this brother is a hafiz of the Quran. And how old? I think he's about 16, 17. So alhamdulillah for that. That's very wonderful. Moving right along, I would like to bring up the committee founder and the committee advisor. She has been with this community for so long. I remember her, she was my teacher in preschool. I remember so long ago, and she's still with the community doing her thing, still keeping the community alive, one of the pioneers. I'm pretty sure everybody in this room knows her. If not, you should get to know her. This sister is very wonderful. I would like to bring up Sister Musina Muhammad. Takbir.
Assalamu alaikum. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. I would just like to indicate to you how the Muslim Youth Committee began. It was a Saturday morning in August, and I was getting my car fixed. There was a Christian man. He came and he sat down beside me, and he asked me, in fact he was talking, just saying that I have a car and I had it fixed. Says, and my wife, she doesn't want to drive it. So I was reading a book and I ignored him. So finally he said, you know, we can't even whip our children anymore. He said, what can I do? So I still didn't say anything. And he said it again. He said, and I looked at him, he said, I'm talking to you. I said, oh, are you? I said, okay. I said, you know what? He said, what? I said, go out and try to find men with the same type of mind that you have. And when you get those men together, then you go to the mayor's office or the White House, with the president of the White House. And I said, and you tell them your concern. So he said, okay. When they fixed my car, I got in the car and I was on my way home. The concept came to me just as good, say, you know what? You are enjoining the right conduct on others and you are not doing anything. So when I got home and I made my asr salat, and I asked Allah, I said, well, Allah, please help me. What shall I do? So Allah blessed me with the concept, get your pad, pencil, go to the youth. So and that's what I did. I got my clipboard. I went to El Ikhlas Center. And I also went to the wedding, which is Brother Nadir's son, Askil, was getting married. I taken the clipboard with me and I just went around and I got the youth names and telephone numbers. I said, now when I get it together, I said, then I'm gonna call you. So when I got it together, I went to Brother Nadir. I said, Brother Nadir, I said, I'm trying to get something for the youth. So he helped me. We got a program together, and I think we came up with about 13 questions that we was asking them. They answered the questions, and that was August the 15th of 1999. And they have developed out of that concept the Muslim Youth Committee. They also have a forum every second Sunday. They also do a Talim every third Sunday. And they meet every Saturday at 12 noon. So I thank Allah that they have continued from 1999, and here it is 2000, soon will be 2001, and they are still growing strong. And I love them when they call me whatever they want me to do. I will answer, respond to their call. So I have been asking the parents, please, help our youth. Please come out sometimes to their meetings on Saturday and see what can you do. So they need you just like they need me. And I want them to know I'm so thankful to Allah that this is their first anniversary dinner. And I hope and pray Allah that you all really enjoy yourself. And now I will turn the mic back to Brother Hansen. Assalamu alaikum.
Takbir. 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 Allahu Akbar. Again, Sister Musina, thank you for all you've done. You know, like she said, she got it all started. You know, and this is something big here, you know what I mean? When it started off, of course, just like everything starts out small. But you can blow this thing up so big, which is the plan for the future, inshallah. So like she said, we meet every Saturday at 12 o'clock here at Masjid Wali Muhammad. Everybody, all the youth in here, come on down, you know. If you're interested, join the committee. You know, we got a lot of things planned. And we have the election day coming up next weekend, and that will be at 12 o'clock. Come on in if you're interested, be a part of the executive board. You know, let's get together and let's do this. You know, we got to hold the torch. You know, like I said, years is going by and by. You know, it's about to be 2001 just like that. It was just 2000 a minute ago. You know, time is flying, you know what I mean? And the adults right now, you know, they're doing their thing, but we're going to have to step up sooner or later. So it might as well be sooner to get it started. Moving right along, I would like to bring up the Youth Committee's Assistant Chairperson, Sister Taqwa Mahdi. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I openly bear witness that there is no God except Allah, and I openly bear witness that Muhammad is the slave messenger of Allah. First of all, I'd just like to welcome everybody for coming out today. We really appreciate it, even though we hope, for a bigger turnout. But this is, we have to start somewhere, so this is good. For many you don't know, like he said, my name is Sister Tako, and I'm the co-chairperson of the Muslim Youth Committee. And first of all, I'd like to just thank, everybody that has been supporting us. Brother Nadir, who is also, a principal to me and a teacher. And also Sister Musina, who's been dedicated. She comes every Saturday, just like she said. And also, the other dedicated parents, Sister Alima also. I'm just going to kind of briefly tell you what the committee has been doing, in the present, and things we have achieved, and what we need to, step up on and do so we can prepare ourselves to be better leaders in the future. Well, first, when I joined the committee, I think I went to like the second meeting. I didn't go to the first one. And one thing I did gain from it was the bond with different people, even the youth. I went to a Muslim school, and I grew up with, most of them, and I knew them, but it still wasn't like that bond where you can actually just talk to somebody and, call them, ask them, how you're doing. So I developed that with them, which I think is very, very important, because as young adults today, we do need support from our peers that are Muslims to keep us strong and keep us going on in our lives, because it gets hard out there and it is a lot of peer pressures and temptations. So that's one thing I really appreciate with all the people, and I've learned a lot from many of them, different likes and dislikes, but you have to deal with it, because that's how a community works. You have to go out and know how to relate to different people. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I do think, if you have a child, you should bring them out. Bring them to the committee, because I think it'll help them a lot. And most times, young adults or teens or kids, sometimes are kind of hesitant to say that, I need to do this and go there. But sometimes they be waiting for someone to kind of force them and push them. So, if you have children, don't, give them a choice. You make them come here. It's for the best of them. In the future, it's going to better them. So you should make them come. Like I said another time, I would rather have my child hate me because I'm telling them something wrong to do than love me for if I'm telling them something right. So you just have to make them come out. Also, talking to different people and having the different bonds with the Muslim brothers and sisters that I've been around, I think that support is really good, because I know a lot of times people I've grown up with or went to school with, I might hear them say, whatever happened to sister so-and-so, or brother so-and-so, and it's like, oh, I heard that, they was all doing something, they ain't really practicing no more. But why is that? That makes me feel bad. We need to go out and get everybody we can, bring them back to the community and, try to support them. Because, it's, sometimes people are not always on the same level, and you have Muslims at different levels. You might be somebody who is strong and a leader type, but you might have somebody else that is not that strong, and they're going to be looking for you, and they're going to need you to, force them and push them and to remind them. Because like I said, I went to a Muslim school, but there are a lot of young adults that didn't have the opportunity to. And most of the friends I grew up with were Muslims. But what about the, children that's going to, public schools, and sometimes all they have is the, non-Muslim friends to talk to. So when they do that, you get to, we going to parties and we starting to do this, and that's how they get off into stuff. And without the, strong support of the community, and even having activities and different things in the community to do, where is the structure? You might see them at Jumu'ah, but it's like for 5 minutes. It's like, assalamu alaikum, alaikum assalam, you running out the door back and forth. Or, you have some people who you see just once, at Eid time. And it's just like, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. It's like, where have you been at? We talk about we want this community and we want to be strong. We have to stand up and do what's right and take hold, of our children and our families. We have to try to save them before, it's too late. Because we never know when we're going to die. And you might think, oh, I have, the rest of my life, or when I get older, I'm going to do this. You never know. I could, drop dead this second and you wouldn't know. Some of the things that we were doing, like Sister Musina mentioned, we've been having forums which have been really well. They were usually being held here, and they're being shown on the channel 76 access channel. And those are really helpful. I mean, I know lately some of the topics we had was peer pressure and stereotypes. And I think the last topic was, community development, which is, a very important topic also. But it, it just gives us a chance to voice our opinions, and people look, at us, because I know when I'm on some of the, college campus and people ask, oh, I saw you on TV, and they say, well, that was very, beneficial what you said, so people are watching us. As Muslims, we are examples for everybody. So, I mean, even for some of the young adults or youth that might be in the community that don't really know, they don't maybe really want to speak up, or maybe they're kind of scared to say things, you have to just be firm. This is your chance for you to come up, tell your opinion, and tell what you want, because that's the only way you're going to be heard, because other than that, no one else knows. We also been doing, community service. We've been, as young adults too, that's another thing I wanted to say, not just of what we're doing, but we do need to stay firm, because I know even myself, I do slack on stuff too, and it's like, we need to just make sure we all stay firm, even for the committee, the whole group. I think, even though we've done a lot, but we can do a lot, better, and we do intend to, inshallah, in the future. Like I said, we've been doing the soup kitchens, where we trying to, stay regularly on that, helping with those. And also we went to the school class, and we cleaned up, out the parking lot, because it was, trash, and school was about to start back, so we helped out there. And also we wanted to go to the junior league house and help, because I heard it got broken into, so we wanted to go help out with that. Like I say, we really just need the support, and even this is for the youth too. I mean, when we say we're gonna do something, we have to do it. We have to stay firm, and this is even for myself. It can't be I mean, we have to just do it. We also been having youth talents, which have been very good. Also, I see in a lot of the people that are in our committee, a lot of the dedicated people, they have that fire in them and that energy, and I see it. It's like they really want to, say something. So the youth talents are, a good way for them to come up and, voice their opinions. And they get a lot, out through that. I know this one brother and sister, they were saying they want to do the talim, but they want to wait till they're ready and get a topic and prepare the information. So they're excited about it. We just have to come out and support them, and they'll keep, doing it like that. Because I mean, lately we have so far, everybody pretty much in the committee has done, a talim, and some other people, they do intend to do it in the future. They just want to get themselves prepared and straight, but it's just to see that energy in the faces of the young adults. It's like they really want to work and really want to do it. And I was talking to, a couple of sisters a few minutes ago, and they was just saying, it's really time for us to stand up and take charge, and we have to be firm in what we believe and not be so passive. I mean, and this is no disrespect to the adults, but we have to kind of give and take and see how we kind of flow with things and how they flow with things. We can learn from the elders, and inshallah, hopefully they can learn from us. But like I said, right now we've been accomplishing quite a bit, but it's still not enough. We need to do more, and it's only going to be possible with the help of the community. Like I say, the parents and the teachers, and just the mentors, and we need the guidance. But you have to, I mean, even with the kids, I'm telling you, you have to just say, you're the parents. You can't let them run over you. Bring them out to the committee. I mean, I will assure you it'll help them for the best. Because I know even me, for myself, sometimes you kind of sway or go off, but it's once you have that kind of bond, you see, oh, there's people, going through the same thing I'm going through. So it's it's kind of easier, you can kind of stay strong and you can lift one another up. And lastly, I mean, I just wanted to say to the whole community, and we really need your support. We really, really do. And I mean, if hopefully you're willing, but if you're not, we do intend to just go ahead, it's gonna get done. So, and like I said, I was talking to one of my brothers, and he was telling me about, Revolutionary War or battle and stuff. And he was saying about, we gotta get ready, be physically fit and with the guns, because we're going through a war and stuff. But I was telling you, it's not that simple. I mean, it's good to be prepared physically, but I mean, when it comes down to it, the battle is within ourselves every single day against Shaitan. I mean, waking up in the morning, the battle is, it's Fajr time. I don't really want to get up. If you getting up, you won that battle. if you're going out, every day and somebody is offering you, drugs or anything, if you're saying no, you won that battle. I mean, even if it was just like, simple stuff, like something that you shouldn't be into, temptations or whatever like that, you fast and you're winning your battle. So it's an everyday battle for us. It's not just a physically, but don't get me, I mean, we do need that too. But we have to prepare ourselves better, mentally in our minds and as a community and be structured in order for us to take it to the next level. And inshallah, we do intend to do that. But in conclusion, I would just like to say it gives me an honor to be a part of the Muslim Youth Committee. And, hopefully, we're just starting off, it might be starting kind of slow, but hopefully, inshallah, we will take charge and it will be, in fast pace. So for all you parents who have kids, it's time to bring them in now because, we're about to start. So inshallah, I said something that would have helped you. And if I didn't, then, may Allah forgive me if I said anything that's harmful to you. And that's, like I said, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming out. Someone like
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Man, Sister Taka. Alhamdulillah. I was feeling that, though. I was feeling it. She put me to shame. I don't want to touch the mic anymore. That was a very good speech. I mean, everything she said was good. I don't think it was anything harmful that she said that will affect us in a harmful way. Because I was feeling it. I was really feeling it. I was over there, I was about to cry, man. Tears of joy. But that's very important. We do need the support of the whole community. Like she said, with just the support that we get, we can do it anyway. You know what I mean? We can do it. And it doesn't matter, she was saying about, we wanted a better turnout. It's good, But I want everybody to do something for me real quick. Just keep this in mind, for the people that missed out. Everybody go up to them, ask them, did y'all go to the Muslim Youth Committee's anniversary dinner? They're like, no, I just boast about it. Brother, it was good. Sister, it was good. I had a good old time. They had the food. Food was delicious. Had to socialize with the brothers and sisters, just boast about it, So next time they come, and we have about 3 times larger of a crowd, inshallah. But that was a very good speech, Taka. She's like my cousin. I've known Taka for a long time. I've known her family for a long time. They're like my family. She's a very wonderful sister, very smart, intelligent. She carries herself very well. It's good to have her as an assistant chairperson because she'll always have your back. Alhamdulillah for that. Moving right along, next, I would like to bring up another committee member. This brother, he's fairly new to the community, but he's a very smart brother, very intelligent, and he has it up there. He's very straightforward, and he has the plan. He has a plan. We're going to help this brother unfold his plan. So I would like to bring up Brother Lydell Davis. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm talking about the future activities of the Muslim Youth Committee of Detroit. As Muslim youth, it is important for us to be excellent leaders. The future of the Muslim community depends upon the ability of the youth to step forward and take responsibility. It is imperative that every youth, not only in this community, but in every community around the world, understand the seriousness of our situation. The Muslim Youth Committee of Detroit plans to help us become the leaders that we need to be by establishing a dawah program. This dawah program, because I wasn't born Muslim, so it's very important to me, because I feel that everyone should have the chance to see the light that Islam has to offer, because it has helped me greatly. And I thank you guys for supporting me, all those, Brother Nadir, Sister Musina, and everyone else who has helped me feel welcome. Now, we plan to help our youth become excellent leaders by keeping Allah first, because there should be nothing in this universe that can stop us if we keep Allah first and understand that there is nothing that we can't do without Him on our side. Now, one thing that we must do is that along with our words must come action, and along with our actions must come sincerity. Because it's one thing to just say that you're going to do something, but it's another thing to actually do it and be sincere about it. That is very important, because we can talk all day, talk till our voices get hoarse, but if we don't move, then you're wasting time, and that's reality. As far as the future activities, we plan on establishing weekly Holocaust, where we will discuss issues that are relevant to the youth as Muslims, because there is a lot of temptation. I myself go to public school, so it's not like they're really giving that support. They don't really, I don't know, it's like we have Christmas vacation instead of winter break. So they say that they're public school, but it's really Christian school. And that's reality. Halloween, all these holidays that they celebrate. So it's very important that we establish these programs and that we have the support of the community, because the future of the community depends upon how strong the youth are. And we depend upon the parents. It's like a house, for example. The foundation has to be strong. We have to get that foundation from the parents or from the other people who are active leaders in the community to help us build and develop as youth, because we're going to be the future, basically. And if we aren't strong, then the future community won't be strong, and then Islam won't have its presence anymore. As they say, I'm not the best at quoting Quran or the Hadith, but I understand that they say if you don't rise to the occasion, then Allah will bring another people up to do what you didn't do. So it is important for us to really step up, and that's really all that I have to say. It's a state of emergency. I can't really put it in words, but sirens are going off. You just can't see them. You have to be real in tune to see that, because we're suffering. We're suffering. The youth, the community, even if you're not Muslim, we should just open the doors to people and just try to make our communities better. That should be our future. Our future plan is to improve everything. As they say, Khalifa, caretaker. We have to take care of these people because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. So we have to tell them and teach them, show them. This is the way it should be done. So the future activity is to practice being Khalifa, caretaker. That's my word for today. Thank you.
And I tell you, that brother got a plan in his head. And that's very important too, about improving on everything, just like he said. Because there's a lot of things out here. I mean, people, it's not like, they just don't know. They're ignorant to the truth. You know what I mean? It was just how they was brought up. They don't know the truth. Nobody taught them the truth. So, it's our duty of the truth holders, to give the truth on, pass it on. That's the only way to improve. You can't improve holding all the knowledge in to yourself. Move right along with the program. First, is everybody having a good time? Everybody's doing good, still alive out there? Inshallah. I hope nobody pulse stop or anything. But moving right along, I would like to bring up Brother David Newman. He's going to be introducing the guest speaker. Brother David. Takbir.
Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I bear witness to no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Once again, assalamu alaikum. I'm not used to doing this, but I had a job introducing Shamsuddin Sadiq. Shamsuddin is a hard-working young brother. Like myself, he grew up in Islam. He currently attends Harvey Islamic Center in Harvey, Illinois. And I think we all know the Imam there, Imam Darnell Kareem, right? Do we know him? Yeah. So he's in good company. He's home here. Because me and him both went to school to Hamad University of Islam. So, and I feel like I only known him 2 years. And I feel like I've known him all my life. He works for the U.S. Census Bureau, and he supervises several hundred people. So he's a value to our community. Let's see. He's a part of the national, we established a national young adult organizing team. I talked to Sister Bahija earlier. She didn't realize we was organized. We organized similar to the monitoring team. We have a chair, we have a co-chair, we have a national secretary, we have a national treasurer, and he's the Midwest sectional representative for the young adults. And I'm the local contact for that same effort. And we also have a website. It's masyoungadults.org. Is that right? So y'all can log on. Did y'all get that? Yeah. But anyway, so basically, since I met this brother, we've been striving in the race with all that's good. We healthy competition. Is that right, brother? So, and we have a conference coming up in December. This is the third conference. And it's a conference for young adults to get the young adults more active. And by the way, we have a couple of fundraisers. We have the book you saw earlier, Genesis of New American Leadership, which our conference is themed off of this year. It's the New American Leadership and Islamic Perspective. That's our theme. Takbir. All right. So without further ado, I think I said everything I should have said. But you know, this summer, I would like to say one thing. I hope you don't kill me for this. This summer, we had a program, a camp. It was a family camp. We had it every year, but we had a program for the young adults, and I invited him to do Juma, but he couldn't make it, so he sung a song. We had a bonfire. I would like him to give a few verses. I know he's going to kill me. But y'all don't mind, do y'all? No. Okay, give a few verses. You don't mind. Here he is. That's on lady. Takbir. 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 That sounds good. Y'all supposed to be loud. Well, he hugged me, so he said it was okay.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Prophet Muhammad, 1400 or more years ago, is his slave servant, the last message. Assalamu alaikum. I really don't know. I mean, this microphone is still warm from all of the speakers who have come up thus far, and I don't know how I can come behind them and still be called like a guest speaker. But some of the things that they have been talking about is extremely important and near and dear to all of our hearts. Talking about our youth, talking about the young adults, and talking about the future. What society and the media has been pushing for a long time is individualism. And it has taken away the importance of family life. As soon as children come of age, they say, as soon as I get grown, I'm getting out of here. And the parents are saying, as soon as you get grown, as soon as you turn 18, you're getting out of here. You know, and it sounds funny, but it's true. We know it's the truth. You know, the children who are young, we have to do our job as big brothers and big sisters, as parents, to protect them from what's going on in the society today. You know, I mean, the cartoons that they're watching, they're not even funny. I mean, the cartoons, they're falling off of cliffs and they're not being hurt. You know, and they make this funny. You know, Sony PlayStation. Cartoons and Sony PlayStation are babysitting our kids. They're babysitting our children. And they're growing up with this. You know, like Dawood was saying about Clara Muhammad School. Yes, we do have a history with Clara Muhammad School. And the environment that we came up in, the environment that I came up in 73rd and Stony Island, it's not like, I mean, the public school systems that a lot of our children are a part of, it's not anything like that. You know, the value of the relationships, it's nothing like that today. I mean, I drove by the high school that I went to, Hyde Park and Kenwood Academy, and if you hear some of the conversation of what the young adults are talking about, rap music, drugs, girlfriends, it's worthless. It has no value at all, and this is taken away from
what's really important to them, and they don't even have any connection with it. A lot of them don't have a connection with it. A lot of the youth and young adults are not in the messages anymore. Another thing, I think Sister Takwa was mentioning, or one of the speakers mentioned about Halloween. We're in a society today where even in the preschool, I was driving down 87th Street, real close to my home, and the teachers, the whole preschool, they locked the doors to take the preschoolers out who were all dressed up in Halloween costumes, okay, across busy streets in dangerous areas, but it's the same society that's taking prayer out of schools. Look at the kind of society that we live in. So it's important that we take a very close watch over our kids and monitor and the things that are going into their minds. And another analogy, Allah blessed me to go to Umrah last year, and I saw little children there who were sitting on the floor of the Prophet's mosque in a circle, taking turns reciting Quran. And this is what they give value to. So I'm just trying to put a perspective on what we're allowing, and not just it's not what we're allowing, and it is what we're allowing, but I'm talking about the influence that is in our society today. It's a very strong influence, and it's taken us away, not just as young adults, not just as youth, but as parents. Our jobs take us away from, and it's designed like that. It takes us away from family life. If you're spending most of the time at your job, and you come home, to cook dinner, or the father comes home, it's so little time that he has to spend, with the children. They're going to bed and all to go to bed and get up the next morning and do it all over again. So, yes, it is important that we create an environment for our youth. It is important that we create an environment for our youth. To have taleems and to try to develop activity centers. One thing that we do in Chicago, we do meet at the Ephraim Baha Center. And I've been involved in corporate America for some time. And this is, just about become my life. You all know what I'm talking about. Everybody who's working, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're submersed in your work. You take it home with you. You're working late. Sometimes I'm the only one working. I was the only one working on Saturdays and Sundays, and just about had no life. You all can relate to what I'm talking about. Again, stressing the importance of community life and creating an environment for the youth. Allah has blessed us with an opportunity to be active participants in the Muslim American society. That's a big opportunity that Allah has given to us. And it's really a blessing if you really got to think about it. Allah chose us, each and every one of us, to be here in this room, to be a part of the Muslim American society, and to be able to have value and to see value in Quran, in the Sunnah, in Muslim relationships, in going to Jummah, and Salat. And there are a lot of people out there who have never come in contact with Al-Islam. So he chose us. What are we going to do with that opportunity? Are we going to instill that in our children? Are we going to practice it more ourselves? Are we going to realize the value of going and spending time in the masjid? And I was mentioning also what we do in Chicago. We take time to get together and do different projects, feeding the homeless, and just spending time with one another. Muslim relationships are so valuable, and I've had a chance to look at it from both sides of the coin. So, for those of you all who are not in tune with your children, spending time with other Muslims and developing Muslim relationships versus going to school and picking up some of the things that they may be learning from public schools and coming back with a new type of mentality. It's important that we take an assessment of where we are so we can know exactly where we're going. We have to take an assessment of where we are. There was a brainstorming conference that took place in Kernersville, North Carolina. And this is what brought us to where we are today, the earlier function that took place today. On the sectional level, people from all over the nation, from all over the United States came together because they have similar concerns that Allah has put on our hearts. How our children are coming up, community life, this concept of New Africa that has been so very much talked about. These things are important to us. We have similar needs. There was a book, as a matter of fact, called First Things First by Stephen Covey, where they did an exercise. And in that exercise, what they did is they had people to list all of the things that they're doing with their time on a daily and on a weekly and on a monthly basis. Okay? And you may come up with like 29, 30, 35 different things that people spend their time doing. And then next to that, after they did that, they had them to write a list of the things that were really important to them. And they came up with about like 5 or 6 things. And as Muslims, we can probably narrow that down even more. Our relationship with God, community life, being able to walk in a neighborhood or to see our children walking in the neighborhood, coming from the masjid, maybe at 10 o'clock at night, because of the time of the year, if you will, because they've just made prayer with the rest of the people at Isha prayer. A safe community, a community where we can hear the adhan being called and on the loudspeaker. A community where we know where they are, where they're going to school, and we know that they're in a safe environment. These are the things that we want for our children. These are the things we want for ourselves. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about in the Quran reverence in the wombs that bore us. And I think that it's important that we look at where we are, and also we have to look at how we got here. Our pioneers played a very, very important role in us being where we are. It's like a domino effect. What I wanted to do, actually, was I wanted to take a little time to mention some of the pioneers. Not just for me, but for you all as well, and try to make this a little interactive, you know. Sister Ryan, you might know her, Sister Lottie Muhammad. She was a sister, the dean of the Sisters at Clara Muhammad School. Sister Ethel Muhammad, Sister Intisar, Sister Viola Kareem, Brother Clarendon, and I just thought about last night, Sister Queen. I don't know if you all remember Sister Queen. She's Imam Bacha's grandmother. And she was, she maintained a school store. I remember this stuff like it was yesterday. Well, Clara Muhammad was such a good environment to come up in. Alhamdulillah. Thank Allah for that environment, helping to shape me. Sister Beatrice and Sister Elizabeth Sadiq. Sister Elizabeth Sadiq was my mother. They were the cooks at the Clara Muhammad School. Brother Albert Kareem, who was the driver for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Brother Samuel, who was one of the drivers, one of the bus drivers. Elijah and Clara Muhammad. Sheikh James Shabazz. Sister Willie May. We can go even further back. Master Bilal. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If anybody wants to jump in, I mean, you got somebody that you want to mention? please, jump right on in. But my point is that these people who came before us, who paved the way, who gave their lives, some of them went to jail, so we can have an Islamic presence here in North America. What do we have our hands on here? Again, Allah chose us to be here. And here it is today that we're looking at, on national levels, areas of need: education, dawah, grant writing, politics. These are vehicles for everybody to get involved. For everybody to get involved. They came before us and they made a way for us to practice al-Islam openly, to have Jummah. We have a constitutional right to go to Jummah on Friday. A constitutional right to go to Jummah on Friday. This wasn't here before. This is our history. A social system is one, and I got this quote from the book. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name of the book. The book that, American Genesis.
Genesis of a New American Leadership.
Genesis of a New American Leadership. Excuse me. A social system is one in which the subsystems each have their own identities and purposes, but the activities must be coordinated or the parent system cannot function. And it goes on to mention about the muscular system and the circulatory system and the nervous system and how they all have to be integrated to maintain a balanced life. The structure is the same in the sense that the areas that we're seeking to enhance supports this very much needed community life. And if you think about it, it's also indicative of following right guided leadership. We got to do the work. The work has to go along with it. So we talked about politics today. We talked about committees for politics and education. We had to look at some of the successful educational programs around the country and adopt practices nationwide, sharing the educational curriculum so we can rise simultaneously nationwide. And again, it's what we do for our youth today and helping to prepare them. That's going to make a difference for the future, because this is an evolution. Al-Islam in America and Al-Islam all over the world, but I'm talking about us. It's evolutionary, and now it's our turn. Something that was mentioned a little bit earlier that I have to stress is so very important. Yes, we have young adults who have gone to school or developed themselves in areas of expertise, or who are even, conduct business themselves. But there's something that we need, and that is the wisdom of our parent generation. I think that it would really be foolish for us to pretend, and for the youth, and for the young adults to pretend that we can do it without you. And similarly, we have to carry it on. What you all came and provided for us. You can't establish what you want to lay down as a foundation completely without us, because again, it is evolution. We need each other. We are family. We're family. All right, business. At one of the MAS Young Adult Conferences, we identified in the economics portion individual in almost just about every area of expertise that you can think of. I mean, it had to be about 70 different areas. And I'm still talking about how we need one another. We have these people who are developed in these areas, but at the same time, we need jobs. You know, we have some of our parent generation who are in positions where they can provide internships or apprenticeships. We have some young adults who are in positions where they can give references for jobs. Because what we have to do, we have to look at some of the other people who are doing things right in our own communities. We have like the Chinese people, for instance, and this is one thing that I notice in our own community. They come into the community and they set up shop, and they set up hair shops, nail shops. You know, we have people that are coming in and setting up stores. I heard an interesting statistic just the day before yesterday, that the dollar exchanges hands in the African American community two times before it leaves the community, versus an average of all other communities, it exchanges hands 10 times. Statistically speaking, we are a people, I'm talking about African Americans, we spend more than any other people in North America. But we're not dependent on one another for business, so we don't have anything to show for it. So, communication. I want to just go down the list here. Talking about business and communications. This can range from an effective utilization of Shura, which is something that we all need to learn more about and implement, to developing public speaking for the purpose of conducting the Juma Khutbah or a Talim. We talked about community demographical profiles. We need to see where we are as a community. We need to assess where the youth are and where there aren't in our community. And all of these different areas, what I'm so fired up about is because now that we're doing this on a sectional level, now we have the opportunity to take this back to our cities and take it to the local masjid level, right? And for whoever is interested in education, whoever's interested in dawah, who's ever interested in business, in grant writing, they now have a vehicle that we can implement, and it's like a bandwagon that they can jump on. So this is going to, inshallah, help attract some youth back to our community. For the ones who are not there, I'm not saying that they're not there, but they are absent. They are absent. And we need to create an environment for them to come back to. So what should be our priorities? Allah says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, never will He change the condition of a people until they change what's bothering them in their souls. And this speaks of a collective community. This is talking about collective community efforts. One thing that we have to do is we have to get our hearts right. We have to put our hearts in the right place. As a platform, good Islamic relationships are necessary. And our Islamic life is necessary for us to depend on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also in Quran 39:22, He says, but only he will prosper that bring a sound heart. Only he will prosper that brings a sound heart. It's something that we also have to stress a lot in our homes, to our family, because family comes first. There's no sense in trying to pretend that we can manage our lives without the one who created our lives. We need Allah. So we have to turn toward Him and ask Him for help. Imam Muhammad said, if you want Allah to talk to you, then read the Quran. If you want to communicate with God, he said, then make your salah. And this is something that's very, very important. We have to make sure that we're establishing our prayers, and we channel that down through our family and through our children. That's very, very important. That's key. So how do we get involved? Again, we come together today with all of these different committees that we're going to implement committees on a local level. And everyone, and definitely please spread the word, everyone has an opportunity now to get in an area of interest, in an area of strength. So there's no excuse. It's no excuse. We can all come forward, and we can all get involved, and we can all contribute. So we can get something back, so we can have community life. This picture of New Africa that has been painted for us is in our grasp. It's really in our grasp because we can all see it. We can all relate to it. And it's actually happening. It's happening right now. We just got to pick up the pace a little bit so we can start moving around one another. You know, we buy a few houses around one another, then we have a need for a store that's right around the masjid, that's right around the school. Can you see it? Can you see it? Again, New Africa is the big picture. And basically what I want to do now is give a few notes about the upcoming conference that's going to take place. I was asked to channel down to the young adults and to the youth any kind of suggestions that they may have for the conference. They're looking for abstracts. They're looking for abstracts for people who may want to do presentations, and also Muslim Journal articles. We want to try to find out how many people plan on attending from this area, from the Detroit area. Again, the website. The website is up under masyoungadult.org. Please take a look at it because it's got a lot of different interesting links on there, and it talks about MAS Convention 2000. It talks about upcoming events, has pictures, and has a lot of information about Al-Islam, where other people can learn about our community as well. So if you're in schools, you know, pull it up and show it to a friend. Let them learn about Al-Islam as well, and that's the way of doing dawah. Lastly, I want to give one more note. There was a brother Bilal who owns the bus company. He came to me after we did the announcement for the upcoming conference, and he offered to take a bus to the convention. And he was talking about, and we were just talking about, you know, roughly in between $40 and $50. And all we need is about 40 people. So Chicago and Detroit is kind of close, so I still want to talk to him about, you know, having a bus maybe come to Detroit after it's going to Chicago, or either having people to, you know, come to Chicago and we can all leave them there together, because it's just a 4-hour drive from here to Chicago. And the plane tickets are running in between like $300, $350. And again, Brother Bilal is talking about like $40 to $50 per head. So it's not what you make, but it's what you save. So it'll be a smart move, and plus we can all be together and enjoy one another's company, inshallah. That is pretty much all I have. And I thank Allah for giving me the opportunity to share some time with you, to come and be with you here in Detroit, to be a part of this effort that is taking place nationwide. And we do have some flyers, and we have some registration forms. The registration forms are online. The flyers are online. And let's get involved. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. We have a question.
Yes, sir.
This general area are willing to go. How long is the bus? Yes, sir. Going to Houston.
And